Hi there. So I wanted to show you a few of our favorite books from our study of Canada. We just finished a 2-week study with Torchlight, Kindergarten, and Build Your Library Level 0. And these were the books that stood out to us as the ones we most enjoyed. So the first we'll start off with is The Adventures of Miss Petitfour. This is a really fanciful book. It is a chapter book, but not too difficult. It was a great read aloud. It's about an eccentric woman and her 16 cats that fly with her. You can see this is her tablecloth, and her cats all link their tails together and fly with her on all kinds of adventures. So it's very silly. It has some really interesting and cute artwork, which my daughter very much enjoyed. So you can see just the style of the artwork. At the beginning of the book, we end up meeting Miss Petitfour, and it gives us a little bit of introduction about her. And then it starts into a bio on all of her different cats and what makes them interesting. And then we start into the first story. So this is all broken up into sub-stories that you could just read one of these or all of these. There isn't a common narrative that goes through the whole book. There are a few inside jokes, but other than that, you could read these in any order. It would be fine. So there's some cool things here where there are some interesting words that they want to highlight as being fun words that we like to discuss, which I thought was really cool. And just cute artwork. So this was a really fun one. Always zaniness that comes out of Miss Petitfour and the adventures with her cats. So this was one that just made us giggle, so we wanted to share that with you. We really enjoyed that. The next book that we really loved was this one, Canada Year by Year. So one of the things for us that we noticed when doing our study of Canada, when we read Children Just Like Me and some of the other books, they all seem to focus on Northern Canada, Native peoples, First Nations, which was really interesting and not something that we knew much about. But we didn't see much of modern day Canada, and we live very close to Vancouver, so we didn't see anything that really represented that area. So I really enjoyed this. This starts out when Canada actually becomes a country. So this doesn't give you any of the background of the First Nations of Canada, so we had to go to another book for that. But what I thought was interesting here is it gives just kind of some great pictures and year by year everything that happened. So in this case, right when the country was formed and all the things that happened, and each time there was a war or something of interest, this immigration of the Irish, some really nice artwork. We learned about the British home children, which is something that we didn't know about before and led to a lot of discussions. Some of what happened that's kind of darker in Canada's past. Now, I read this with my 5-year-old, so we did skip around a little bit. We looked at the pictures, and I tried my best to explain some of what was happening there. But I thought that this was really great, just as an overview. Look at the pictures and talk about some of the major things that happened. So a fun book, takes us through the all the history until we get through World War I, and World War II is covered. Here's World War II. You can see some of the illustrations. So there was a lot of skipping through on this one. I think that this is one I would definitely come back to when my daughter is older and we could understand more about it. Since we do live so close to Canada, it would be lovely to understand more about their history as a country. And then it goes through, in this case, just before 2000. So this is some of the newer history, which I wasn't even aware of, even though this is during my lifetime, their first female prime minister. So anyways, this is a great book. It's got a lot more detail than we could go into with our young children, but a great reference book, and one I think we might add to our library. And this is a whole section at the end about great Canadians from different time periods and just a little bit more about them. So all in all, a great book if you're looking for Canadian history. I thought that was really nice. The next book I wanted to show you was this one, Bear Goes Sugaring. This is all about the production of maple syrup. My daughter really enjoyed this. It's one of these, kind of like a Magic Schoolbus, where it has lots of information, facts in the margins. This is the same way. So it takes you through Bear's journey to actually tap. It even gives you the size of the drill bits to tap the maple trees and the kind of spouts or spiles that they use. This is a great section. It's all about telling the difference between different types of maple trees and how you can recognize a sugar maple, and all of the tidbits about how the leaves look and the seeds and the bark. So there's more detail here about trees and about tree rings, which my daughter found really interesting. And then it gets into, there's actually a problem. There's a hole in his bucket and he has to use a plastic milk jug. And it makes commentary that that's a great way to save money and still collect sap, which I didn't know was possible. So I think that's really, really pretty cool. And then it goes into the whole process of how the tree actually makes syrup in all the different months, in summer and in autumn and then in winter. And then in spring, how it releases the sap as the air temperature rises. Then it goes into the process of making maple syrup through evaporation, and how many 40 gallons of sap for 1 gallon of syrup, which as we had pancakes for dinner tonight, my daughter thought that was pretty cool. That's how much it takes. It even takes you through all the steps to build your own evaporator. So very detailed book, gave just a lot of information. I haven't seen another book that gave this much info about how to actually make the syrup and all of the steps. So really great book. I highly recommend it if you're interested in maple syrup production. It was really great. And then the last one, of course, that we loved, this Carson Crosses Canada. This is just a beautiful book. This is the main recommendation from Build Your Library. And we just love this book. This is about a dog's trip from his house all the way across Canada. And he gets all the way to the other side. I think it's outside Vancouver. So this book has just got beautiful artwork, as you can see. And it's Carson's trip with his mom, Annie, and they go all through Canada. And it's really great because it takes you through all the provinces. We tend to think of Canada as one entity, and it's got lots of different landscape, just like we do. So really fun through dinosaur bones, and this is just a gorgeous book. We absolutely loved it. It's the perfect book for young children, and goes through all the different landscapes of Canada. So just a beautiful book, and we would highly recommend this one. Oh, here they are in Quebec. So really great, and a happy message too. So anyways, I just wanted to take you through those few books, our favorite books: Carson Crosses Canada, Bear Goes Sugaring, Canada Year by Year, and The Adventures of Miss Petitfour. Thanks for watching.